Hello, very good morning and Assalamualaikum to Miss Shikin and Miss Shamimi. Today our group will present regarding a proposal paper that we have been designed together with our group. Before that, my name is Azmi, and for my part I just explain about the introduction. So within this proposal we will show about the basic plan regarding the project that will be implemented by our group. As we know that currently we are facing MCO, which required by government, thus we are not able to conduct our community service project as traditional way as done by our senior in previous semester. But then thankfully with the development of technology such as internet, we are able to perform our project through online or e-project. So our groups had been discussed together regarding what type of e-project that we able to do at home. So finally we decided to create a video that can help to motivate, inspire or challenge the community in order to maintain their discipline. So then the main goals of the Ministry of Health and the government can be achieved, which is to stay at home while to keep their healthy life. So for the more details regarding what type of e-project that we will conduct will be explained later on. Although we are having difficulties due to this MCO, but then we believe that by having yearly preparedness and careful planning will help to ensure the smoothness in running or conducting this project. Students are the builders, helpers, and the role model towards the community. Thus, within this project, hopefully, while we are able to enhance our skills, such as planning, managing human skills, communication skills, and so on, we also hope that this e-project will help to give or contribute positive impact towards our local community as well as globally. So I will pass over our explanation, our discussion to my next group members. Thank you.
I'm Marshall and I'm in charge for our project background as well as for our project objectives. So now let's take a look at the first point for our project background, which is what the world is facing. So as of now, everyone knows what the world is going through. There is a pandemic outbreak right now which was caused by the coronavirus disease, which is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. This virus started in China on 31st December of 2019, and currently there is no vaccine for it. So which is why we should take an extra precaution to keep ourselves safe at all times. Second part, the previous outbreak that the world had to face. As a fact, the world had faced dozens of outbreaks before this, but the recent outbreak that occurred was in 2009, which was called the swine flu, or also known as H1N1. This virus lasted for 19 months from January 2009 until August 2010. Now, let's take a look for the third point, which is the government's action. In order to keep this newly discovered virus contained, the Malaysian government decided to quarantine the whole country and implemented the Movement Control Order, also known as MCO, as a response to fight off against the virus. So during this time of crisis, we should not let the government's effort go to waste, but instead we should do something to boost up our body's defense mechanism. Now let's look at the fourth point, the 4 essential things that we need to make it as our habits. Our project is about the 4 Life Habits Challenge. Before the pandemic started, we may not have considered to do this thing because it felt unnecessary. But now it is different, because now is the time where we should really think about our health and safety. So for the first point, which is consuming fruits. We should consume more fruits as they contain tons of vitamins that will help us to strengthen our body's immune system. Second point, which is working out. Everyone knows that working out will help us to improve our health. Now for the third one, having good hygiene. Most of us know that the virus could spread through contact, which is why we should always keep ourselves clean at all times so that the virus wouldn't stay on our body. For the last one, meditation. This may not have crossed our mind, but doing meditation comes with several benefits that will certainly be useful. For instance, meditation helps with stress reduction. It is for a fact that most people meditate in order to reduce their stress. So that's it for our project background. So moving on to our project objective. So for our project objective, our group has decided that the aim of this project is to create an awareness of what is happening throughout the world. As of now, the world is fighting against a new virus that has no cure for this moment. This pandemic has caused many great sufferings to others in a way that people lose their jobs, students are not able to go to school, small businesses has to shut down, and many more. And this has led to the fall of our economy. And secondly, this project has always been for us to help others by educating them on how they should stay healthy and safe during this time, which is why we come up with an idea on how people should be taking care of themselves during this time and change their habit of life, which will help them to get through this pandemic. Hence, the project is called 4 Life Habit Challenge. That will definitely benefit those in changing their lifestyles. And lastly, strengthening relationship with loved ones. Our project comes with the responsibility in giving useful information that will help people to get through this rough time, while strengthening our relationship with our loved ones. In other words, we seek to show that they should also take this chance to not only improve their health but also the bonds between families, because everyone knows health is important, but so does family relationships. Thank you, that's all from me.
The outcomes which have been gathered in this video is to showcase the end result of our 4 Life Habit Challenge project. The bigger outcomes, that means a bigger impact that we are giving to the existing community. So the first outcome includes a better lifestyle approach for the people even during the hardest time, because when people watch this video, they are engaging themselves to the new norms in life. They are adjusting to this box that we are being put in. So that says a lot about the first outcome. The second outcome is the higher level of self-independence, because when people watch our 4 Life Habit Challenge video, they are pretty much doing most of the activities shown without any outside facilities, without any helping hands. For example, when you are doing the workout activities shown in the video, you are not using any outside facilities because you are not going to the gym. When you're doing the meditation, you are alone. There's no presence of your therapist. So that is the second outcomes, is a higher level of self-independence, because you are doing all of the activities all by yourself. The third outcome is the healthier version of food intake, because we knew that ever since the MCO has been lifted, people are not going out as often to have their food, to have their meal, and people are getting more conscious, more about what to eat, a better trustable selection of food. So there you have it. The first outcome is the better lifestyle approach. The second outcome is the better and higher level of self-independence. The third outcome is the healthier food intake. The strategies and plans that we have established for the 4 Life Habit Challenge project is to ensure that each of the team members is doing their work effectively and efficiently. So the first strategy is to set up a timeline, and the task that must be done according to its best preference of time. This is because we want to be ahead of the schedule. We knew that even at the earliest point of us doing the work and conducting the process, we are getting a lot of work done. We have done the proposal, we have done the video for the proposal, we have done the slides, we have edited our content. So we are very happy about that. We are very happy about being ahead of the schedule because that is our main top priority. The second strategy is to put a daily updates on the work. The first method is because we want to make sure that when you put daily updates on the work, therefore you can find the mistakes that we have somehow put in unconsciously in the video. Therefore, we want to make sure that when we put daily updates, we can correct any mistakes that we have done. And it is to also ensure that each of the team members is being highly active throughout the whole process of conducting the project. The plan for the 4 Life Habit video is to make sure that we can find the exact content that people can relate to during this point of time. During this MCO, we want to make sure that our content is somehow very relatable to the existing community, because we know that the more relatable our content is, the higher participation that we will get. So that is it. The first strategy is to set up a timeline and the tasks that must be done. The second strategy is to put a daily updates on the work and to make sure each of the team members is being highly active. The third plan is to find the exact content that is more relatable to the community.
Hello Miss, my name is Jacqueline and I will be presenting about the difficulty and challenges that we face throughout the period of doing our project. As you all know, during this COVID-19 pandemic, all of the teaching methods have been converted to online learning, and same goes to this subject. The community service carried out by previous batch of students is actually quite different from the task given for our batch, because for our batch, we are required to do this subject through online instead of participating ourselves in the community service work. So one of the challenges that we encounter is the limitations of activity. Since we are all bound by the Movement Control Order, which is known as MCO, there will be restrictions to perform our desired activity, and as a result of this, we can only conduct our activity at our home. Due to the situations that we are experiencing, it is actually not easy for us to come up with the idea for our community service, as we are trying our best to give an impact to the community through our video, which is known as the 4 Life Habits Challenge. Next is the difficulty in submitting assigned tasks. Since we are ordered by the government to stay at home, some of us have the issue to submit the allocated work to our group leader. This is because of the slow internet connections at our locations. The inability to submit our assigned tasks has actually slowed down the work progress within our group. Another problem that we face is the difficulty in the online conversations. We find it very hard for us to deliver our own point of view when discussing on any online platform, for example the WhatsApp. This is because we are so used to face-to-face group discussions back then. When we discuss the idea for our community service, some of our message have been misinterpreted, and the idea that we wanted to deliver did not fully been expressed as the way we wanted it to be. So these are the difficulty and challenges that we face during the period of doing our project.
For our organization chart, we have Azmi as our project leader, our father Marshall Dillon as our assistant and secretary, DJ Nurin Shafina as our operating manager and also planning manager, Jacqueline Yap Aifen as our design manager, Nassierah Lee, which is me, as our treasurer, and we have Rivaldo Zico as our IT and editing manager. As for budget and financial, since we are in the midst of MCO, we have prepared some things for those who can take our project as awareness. We tend to use less budget for this project since our project is related to quarantine in our own house. We have gathered some items that we can use for our project in order that others can take good example from it. So here we have our plan of purchase. We have apples and oranges, which is bought by Aifen, alcohol sanitizer spray, hand sanitizer and towel, which is bought by Zico, dumbbells bought by Marshall, yoga mat and books and chamomile tea are bought by Nassierah. So which accumulate total of 361 ringgit. We tend to use less budget as we can for our project because we don't want to use much about it. Thank you.
So, for the attachment, this is the only thing that we have used in our project, which is receipt for buying hand sanitizer, alcohol sanitizer spray, and fruits like apple, orange, and papaya to ensuring that we are having props enough in making up the awareness video that we are planning to do. For the approval of the event, before we end up our presentation, we would like to say thank you for spending time in listening to our presentation. And lastly, we really hope that Ms. Shikin and Ms. Shamimi will give approval for our group to conducting this project. Thank you.